there was a crutch fight to the death on Monday Night Raw.
What up, Marks?
Guys, here we are for another Monday Night Raw review and reaction, and we're not too excited about it as per usual because Raw tends to kind of suck, and this wasn't that great of a Raw either. A couple decent matches here and there, but for the most part, I mean, it's pretty run-of-the-mill stuff when you're leading up to a multi-man match in Money in the Bank. Is how this show started off with MITB, Miz and Morrison in the ring, and they're going to have their talk segment with everybody from the Raw side anyways coming out, and who's participating in the men's Money in the Bank, and just talking to each other, talking trash to each other. First, you have Drew McIntyre come out. He talks his trash. Then you have Ricochet comes out. And this is a spot right here for Ricochet to really cut a promo because he's in a big spot here opening up the show with a bunch of, bigger names in the ring. To cut that promo that really sets him apart and really helps him, basically in the eyes of Vince McMahon, you got to cut a solid promo here, hopefully to get you some more opportunities going forward because we all know he's not going to win Money in the Bank. And he really doesn't do it here. It's decent. It's what it is, but it's not really something that jumps off the page at you.
I didn't love anything about this entire segment. It was just everybody trying to get their stupid shit in. None of it worked. None of it elevated anybody. If anything, it just made me less interested in the match because I was like, I've seen this formula before. Let's throw all the guys that are in the match and let's have a promo for each one. They come in. It was pointless. It was useless. Ricochet is not a good promo. He's just not strong on the mic. He doesn't have the voice. He doesn't have the charisma on the mic to carry anything. So I just don't see him being in this company somebody that's gonna, be a guy, be the guy, or be one of the guys. It is what it is. Yeah,
and we've seen this with Money in the Banks, with Royal Rumbles, with Survivor Series, that they just do this all the time. So then you have Riddle come out. He gets on top of the ladder. He's got his messed up ankle from last week. I did find it funny how he was like, I'm gonna do this in memory of Randy Orton. He kind of kissed up to the sky, said wherever you're at, because we don't know where Randy Orton is. He's just been missing MIA. But he seems to be par for the course. You see the picture right behind us for some of these guys in WWE. AJ Styles and Omos come out, and it's the only good part I thought. Like other than that little joke by Riddle was the shot. Okay, so Omos tosses this guy Riddle off the ladder, and then the shot really quickly that AJ Styles does where he kicks the leg of Riddle while he's down was a nice little heel subtle thing. Boom, he just hits it really quick and just kind of moves along. I thought it was a good spot. But then this would lead to, just that, you have Omos get knocked over the top rope by McIntyre. So they're teasing Omos McIntyre eventually.
But does anyone want to see that?
No, nobody really does. And then
come on.
I mean, nobody wants to see that shit.
Nobody wants to see that.
So this will all end up leading, whatever. This is just a big thing. It's all end up leading into Ricochet versus John Morrison. Again, they had the match last week with the big spot that ended the match by Ricochet jumping over the out from the ring into the barricade and knocking this guy out. They have the match here, and then they're gonna have another match next week too, a Falls Count Anywhere, because they can't get it settled here. So they have a good match. These guys really, really work well together, similar in styles. That John Morrison, how he goes, the flips and stuff, and then you also have the same stuff from Ricochet, and it just meshes well with each other. Great selling and all that stuff like that. So they had a really good match with each other, but it ends in a win for John Morrison, but due to count out because of this big move, which is the highlight of the night.
What a maneuver! Ricochet is so good with. Give him space and
oh my God! These two are going to destroy each other.
So you saw that big move right there. It kind of looked a little bit botched, like it was supposed to be a little bit cleaner, but it ended up probably looking better that way because they took a really hard fall on the floor on the outside. And then I thought it was funny how The Miz was kind of using his wheelchair to kind of block a crawling Ricochet to get back in the ring. So that's how Morrison gets the win here.
Yeah, it was a fun little match. These guys have great chemistry in the ring. The spots were nuts. I mean, they kind of almost outdid last week's crazy spot. I mean, this is what these guys do. Morrison's been doing it for like 15 years. Ricochet's been doing it for a while. The Miz being thrown in there was fun. And I don't mind this rematch because we see rematch after rematch after rematch, but when the guys go in there and they have this chemistry and they can have a good match basically with their eyes closed or do some crazy stuff with their eyes closed, those are the rematches that I'm interested in. So this isn't bad, even though next week we're going to get a third in a row, but that's okay. I'm okay with it. What else are we going to watch? Right? So why not?
I mean, because what else are you going to watch? You're going to watch this next match, which is a 6-woman tag. You have Nikki A.S.H, which is dropped the cross. Nikki A.S.H, that's her new name, whatever,
Why?
right? They just wanted to do it, right? Even though it kind of sounds like they're saying Nikki A.S.H a lot of the times, but whatever. So she teams up with
Nikki's ass.
Alexa Bliss, Naomi, and Asuka to take on Jax, Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, Doudrop, and Eva Marie, and we get like a really kind of
We get a classic.
we get one hell of a match here. It's just the bad stuff all throughout. It's just stuff like nobody cares about. You have Doudrop in the ring. I mean, the whole Doudrop thing gimmick is corny. The whole thing going on is corny. And in the end, you have Nia Jax pinning Nikki A.S.H to get the win. And you have Eva Marie then taking the microphone from the ring announcer and saying Eva Marie wins the match. Yeah, it's just like that's what her gimmick is now. She has everybody else kind of do the fighting for her because she has not progressed whatsoever, unless she's kind of weaseling us in to think she hasn't progressed in the ring, and all of a sudden, boom, she puts out 5-star matches all of a sudden. I mean, it could be a nice head turner, a cool little swerve, but I doubt it's going to happen. But that's her gimmick.
And I will see what it is. I mean, they're like, if this was their master plan to make us feel like they had no idea what to do with her when they brought her back, like they had no plan. They were like, hey, we brought her back. We're going to figure out as we go. They're doing a great job of it because it really feels like they had no idea what they were doing or what the hell the plan was. This is not interesting. Nothing seems to have any point to it or why we would be like, all right, this is something we can get behind. Maybe it'll pick up sooner or later, but man, this seems really like just last minute put together, and we had these vignettes set up, we had nothing else set up. That's kind of what it feels like right now.
Yeah, so Nikki A.S.H is a thing. We're gonna see how that goes forward. Alexa Bliss continues to try to possess Reginald. Nothing much else going on there.
That's getting old too.
Yeah, it's getting old.
This is why we have Alexa Bliss is to just. That's what we're doing, just with Red. That's what we're doing. That's what we're getting at. That's your magical power. Like, come on.
Yeah, not much there. Naomi and Asuka are just there. Jackson Baszler just pretty much there. We'll see how that story progresses eventually. I don't know. And then Doudrop and Eva Marie, it's still a thing. We'll see how long it lasts and where it ends up turning. And I'm kind of holding out hope that she'll end up surprising us and just being an absolute in-ring technician.
It'd be awesome.
It'd be awesome.
She just Bret Hart in the ring, like a Chris Benoit going around doing crazy moves. Would be amazing. But I highly doubt it.
Highly doubt it. Now, the next thing on the show was Mustafa Ali versus Mansoor. After weeks of Mustafa Ali just kind of walking up on Mansoor and says, you're doing it wrong. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. And then in the end, he's like, I'm just trying to help you not be like me. I mean, I guess that's the guy who's not on TV. That's what the other thing I assume, right? He's like, I don't want you to be a guy like me who's never on TV. So they have this match, and in the end, have Ali getting his foot caught in the rope, and Mansoor is a nice guy. He helps him out. Like, okay, he looks like he's in pain. Let me help him out because he can't get him out of the ropes. And then he rolls up Mansoor afterwards and pins him. And I guess in the end, Mansoor would just end up being like Mustafa Ali.
Yeah, basically he just looked like a dumbass, but I'm okay with it because hey, it's something different. They're trying something. We got new talent, new guys. I mean, Mustafa's not that new talent, but Mansoor is, and we're just gonna see where this goes. But this didn't make Mansoor look good, by any stretch of the imagination. But okay, I mean, we'll see where this all goes.
Yeah,
what else can you do?
I mean, what else? It is what it is. Next thing on the show is Jinder Mahal versus Drew McIntyre, a match that we thought. We saw this kind of coming. The rumor was that they were going to push for McIntyre and Mahal because they've both been former WWE champions, former 3MB members, former teammates, friends outside of the ring. So you had
Jack guys.
Yeah, and you had Mahal showing up with a motorcycle, and he talks about like this is the funny part. This whole feud is like, oh, all right. So he was my friend all these years, and then I just text him, and he took 3 days to respond to me. So you kind of just sound like some thirsty ass dude, like you know what I'm saying? Like
you want to hang out with me, man? Come on, man.
Yeah, you couldn't just hit me back up and whatever. So that's all this is here. So they have the match. It's still whatever match. In the end, you have McIntyre going for the Claymore kick, and then he would get attacked by everybody on the outside. The two guys that are with Jinder Mahal, and then they beat down McIntyre.
Oh! What a super kick to the jaw! There's so much Drew McIntyre
down McIntyre. So it seems like going into Money in the Bank, you have McIntyre not win, so it looks like we have a surprise winner, and then eventually go into SummerSlam, probably McIntyre versus Mahal.
Yeah, I mean, this match, I'm like genuinely excited for the rivalry, for the matchup, but just like the way it started, it's not great. Like, just kind of feels kind of put together, thrown in here. We're just gonna put this here, and we're gonna come back to it. Where it could have been something better, or just more. I don't know, like, you're getting all the respect now, but I'm the original guy from 3MB that won the titles. Like, it could have been more interesting, but just, like, it's all there for a better naturally booked story than he didn't text me back for 3 days, and instead of a TOO, he put a 2. Like, okay, I mean, that's what we're angry about, but I mean, I'm still excited for Jinder versus I forget his name. McIntyre. I'm still excited for that match, but like again, we'll see where this all goes. It just wasn't the best start to it.
I mean, moral of the story is just text your homies back, like just answer them back. In the end,
it happens though. You get distracted. Like there's days where I don't text you for like a day because it's just oh shit, I forgot you texted me. Like but it is what it is.
Yeah, but we're brothers, so we're not gonna end up having like matches. Brothers don't fight. Remember, Vince McMahon likes to say brothers don't fight.
Owen and Brett did.
Yeah. So the next thing on the show is Lucha House Party taking on Mace and Tbar. We haven't seen them a decent amount of time, but they get the loss, right?
They weren't missed.
Yeah, they weren't missed. So there's two tag teams here. They're just meandering around, have nothing much else to do. That's pretty much all there is. Raw needs to continue to build tag teams to face whoever the hell the tag team champions are right now. Currently, Styles and Omos. Right now, so we'll see as to how this kind of goes on and who is the tag team that really take over the division after Styles and Omos kind of break up and kind of do their own thing. So that was pretty much all there is to that. Yeah. The next thing on the show was Charlotte Flair outside. She was in the ring and she's on crutches because of what happened the week prior. A chop block from Rhea Ripley after Rhea Ripley hit her with a chop block. So whatever. It's not good stuff. She's in the ring talking about she may miss Money in the Bank. Here comes Rhea Ripley on her own set of crutches, comes in the ring. They talk, I was like, I did the same thing you did. I'm just, doing what you would do. They kick each other's crutches out, and then you have a crutch fight.
Swinging for the fences. Oh! Certainly not.
Crutch fight. All right, so they're swinging these crutches. It looks terrible on TV. Yeah, it's not really well done. It doesn't look good. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. Rhea Ripley kind of stands tall a little bit. She gets some offense in with the crutch, but Charlotte, hightails it out of there, and that's pretty much all there is.
Yeah, this was pretty awful. This feud's not going really anywhere. It's a shame because last year's feud at WrestleMania was so good, and this one just is pointless and dumb. And like, I don't know who the babyface is. The WrestleMania face is two heels basically, and like you're sword fighting with these crutches, and like you could have choreographed it or something, or like spent a couple. Like what is that? Like they already bought a set of crutches. Like okay, you take the right one, you take the left one, and you go out there and you do that. It's like, God, what are we doing? Like, what the hell are we doing? It's just not good.
It's not good stuff. But this would lead to Riddle being backstage, kind of nursing his foot, and he would get, pulled up on by Damian Priest, a guy we haven't seen much of. He's not in Money in the Bank as of right now. I kind of feel like he's setting up to be in Money in the Bank, though, with the way this kind of thing went down. He was telling Riddle's like, yo, you got to take it easy, because, you may lose your shot at that Money in the Bank contract because of your ankle and stuff like that. So who knows? Setting the seeds maybe to him, maybe causing Riddle to miss it, and him being put in there. We could see a heel turn, something like that. I don't really like him kind of being all cool with Riddle. I don't understand why, but what is what it is. We have Riddle versus AJ Styles. These guys tend to always work well with each other, and they continue to do here. Kind of smudgy finish. You have a distraction finish. You have Omos on the outside, and you have the Viking Raiders kind of just creeping up on him, and Omos is already scared. How is he going to act scared if he's massive? He's not supposed to be scared of either of these two guys. Them together just shouldn't bother him. And then for some reason, AJ gets involved. He's like yelling, like, "Oh, get away from him!" He gets rolled up by Riddle. That's the end of the match.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good match. It was fun. It was what it was. I think again, like with the Viking Raiders coming out and helping out Riddle, and I think that's going to lead to Omos and AJ versus the rest of the Viking Raiders. And the fact that it was hilarious. We came out, I love you, Randy. I love you. Like that was legit. I mean, I just keep the Randy RKO bro thing going, please. Just don't axe that like you did the Hurt Business, and like you just please continue because this is the best. This is the best Riddle's looked. This is the most interesting Riddle's been. He's getting over. It's fun. I like this stoner character. Continue with this. Him and Art, please don't axe it for no reason.
Yeah, but the WWE going heavy with those kind of smodgy finishes. You had to count out DQ, the roll up, and then distraction. So smodgy finishes.
I mean, but these things don't matter anymore on Raw, or it's really on SmackDown either. Just like the wins and losses don't really matter anymore. It's just right now we just want an interesting story that keeps us enthralled and intrigued going forward, and then the wins and losses will happen at the big pay-per-views. That's just like the way they run it over there.
Yeah, and then we get the next thing on the show: Elias and Cedric Alexander versus Jackson Ryker and R-Truth. Another feud nobody cares about. This random shouldn't have happened. Should have just kept them as a tag team. Ryker and Elias. As the match is going to start, R-Truth is in the ring. All the 24/7 guys involved in the championship are running out. R-Truth leaves to chase Tozawa and all of them. Then you get Ryker just destroying Cedric Alexander. So they've officially just jobbed out Alexander. He's nothing but a scrub now after all that. And Shelton Benjamin has not been seen in a long time.
He was seen today. He was running away.
That is true. There you go. So they're all kind of scrubbed out. That was the end of the match. Wrecker gets the win. And another feud that nobody cares about.
Only if Alexander and Shelton were like in a good like stable, you know, where they like were doing something interesting. Like imagine if that were a thing. Like you know, you'd have two guys there you can build, but you know, I mean, I guess they can't figure it out. Weird.
Yeah, scrubbing dudes out, but it is what it is. Classic WWE fashion. They take guys that are promising and they kind of just job them out. Next thing on the show, New Day versus the Hurt Business, MVP and Bobby Lashley. We haven't seen MVP in the ring for a while. He's finally returned to action to this match. He's taking on New Day. Obviously, they have the beef from 2 weeks prior with Xavier Woods being demolished inside Hell in the Cell while Kofi Kingston watched. And then last week, you had Kofi Kingston attacking MVP as Bobby Lashley was not there, taking some time off. So you have this match, very solid match between the two teams. And in the end, you have Kofi pinning MVP.
Oh, change of plan.
Trouble in paradise off the escape.
Cover.
He's on top, shoulders down, and that's it.
Could this lead to MVP getting away from Bobby Lashley? I don't think so. Could it sow seeds of dissension between them? I don't think so. I think bigger things are going to happen for Bobby Lashley at SummerSlam. I think right now, it's transitionally just going to face Kofi Kingston now at Money in the Bank and get the big money match at SummerSlam. But solid way to end the show, continuing the best feud on Raw anyways.
Yeah, except for the most interesting thing going on Raw with the feud-wise. No way MVP leaves Bobby Lashley's side. He's the mouthpiece. He's the guy that kind of runs the show with these two guys. Not saying take away from Bobby Lashley, but he's not the promo MVP is, and it makes him look a little more of a badass. He does the talking, and I just do the ass whipping. So that's kind of like the Brock Lesnar, Paul Heyman thing. I think you should keep it that way.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, again, this all roads lead to Lashley versus Kofi, and this is where it's going to go. And you know, and then that'll be the stopgap until obviously Bobby and something bigger at SummerSlam, whether it's John Cena, Brock Lesnar, whoever the hell it is, Drew McIntyre, whoever the man is. But that's a decent way to end a pretty meaningless show.
Definitely, yeah. So it was what it was. Another bad Raw in the books. Appreciate you guys for tuning into our Raw review and reaction. Make sure you drop a like on this video. Hit the chair in the corner for sub to the channel. Hope you guys liked the new segment, the highlight of the night. Production value like a mug when it comes to this channel. Got something else in the works for you. Another segment involved in the reviews and reactions. So stay tuned for that one. Hopefully drop maybe tomorrow for Great American Bash. Let's see what happens. Hopefully in time. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Remember, if it doesn't work for you, brother, do not do the job.
Later, Mox.